Hello my fellow gamers, and we have finally reached it at last. These are the semi-finals of the YouTubers Mortal Empires tournament, where we got 10 YouTubers battling it out for supremacy using the Mortal Empires faction. So, as you can see, already shots are being fired. We've started with 10, we are now down to 4. So 6 of the players have now been eliminated from the group phase, and we have 4 champions remaining to fight for glory. So as you see with Chaos, we have PharoahOWar made it through in Group B, as well as JonTaun with his Empire. You also have from Group A, Shadow, myself, coming with the Dark Elves, and the Gobbo King coming in first in that group with his Dwarfs. So in this battle, we have Chaos versus the Dwarfs that are hidden in the woods over there. So it's going to be the top player. First player from one group plays the second player from the other group. So I'll be playing against JonTaun in the next battle, but in this battle it is Chaos versus Dwarfs. Enough of that introduction, let's get straight to the good stuff. So we have Mortar Horsemen, the Thrown Axes, and Mortar Horsemasters. We also have a Hail Cannon. We've got a unit Forsaken, I believe Chaos Mortars of Great Weapons, and Chaos Warriors. 1, 2, 3, 4 units of them, and then another unit of Chaos Mortars with Great Weapons and Forsaken. We also have a unit of Chaos Knights here. Is there anything else? I'm sure he's got wolves somewhere. Maybe I misplaced them. Maybe. I'm sure he had wolves somewhere. Maybe he didn't bother because of the dwarven harder armor. So here is the Gobbo King. He has got the Grumbling Guard at the front there, a unit of Hammerers, a Thane, some miners of blasting charges. Seriously, Gobbo, watch the deployment in the woods here. Not helping me here. You got Rangers of Great Weapons. You've got the I can't even pronounce that. He's the Special Order, isn't he? The Grumbadale. The White Dwarf himself. You've then got Uther's Rangers, Hammerers, Longbeards of Great Weapons, and Runesmith, the Dragonback Slayers, more miners of blast charges, and just plain miners at the back there. But I love the way their candles actually light up. That's very nice. Their lanterns and candles light up the woods as they go through. So, as you see, the Hail Cannon is firing, and what's great is PharoahOWar. I've never seen anyone be able to manual fire a cannon like he does. It is insane the shots he gets. Yeah, exactly. So he's focusing on the Grumbling Guard at this point. And of course, Gobbo King cannot see these, but then Pharaoh didn't know what he was up against till he actually marched out. He didn't want to give him the show of what he had deployed on the hill, and he deployed to the flank, so most of it was hidden in the woods. Also, he's really good with that Hail Cannon, as you can see. Yeah, he's going to get a lot of kills with that. I mean, remember, each shot has been manually fired at this point. A lot of kills there. So the Dwarfs are now getting themselves in a position to take on the front line. The Chaos Warriors are now moving in. And the Everwatcher, he's always getting ahead, isn't he? He's always, Pharaoh, he's so aggressive with him. I mean, I love it. He just runs in front of the whole army, just like, yeah, I'm here. So it's going to be a bit of a slow build up because there's Dwarves that walk in. You know, they've got to pump those little legs. Look at them go. Where have we got hidden? Ah, they've just spotted them. And the main line is about to meet soon. These have got blasting charges, so they should be throwing them shortly right in the face of the enemy. There you go. They're aiming for the Forsaken, getting a few good side hits there as they try and get around for the flank. And the Chaos Mortars, they've got weapons, are charging straight in there. We also have the Longbeards of Great Weapons charging in. Here goes the main line, so that's a group there. We have another group here, the Hammerers, taking on Chaos Warriors of Great Weapons. They have Watchers in there. We also have the Thane getting in there. There you go, there's the Grumbling Guard getting into the thick of it all. And as you see, this is a massive battle line these guys are having to micro here. And it has to be pointed out, in both battles, the micro is ridiculous for all players involved. We really all brought our A game for this. So, let's have a look at the map overall. So the horsemen are throwing in axes and spears to try and beat this, and he is winning this flank. The Hail Cannon is getting See what I mean? That wasn't a brilliant shot, but that was still very, very good. See, you got the Raiders now helping. These guys, the Forsaken, are going to get a charge onto the Miners. And these Miners are started getting broken by the Chaos Marauders. And these guys are hitting their own guys, I think, as much as they're hitting the Chaos, which is a bit concerning. But in the centre here, the Hammerers are beating the Chaos Warriors. The Everwatcher is taking quite a bit of damage. The Fane's not taking much, and the White Dwarf has taken a little bit. The Dragonback Slayers are falling back now. I think they're chasing after the Everwatch, trying to slay them. There's some Forsaken chasing after them, and there's some Forsaken chasing them here. These guys are just kind of finishing these off. I feel like these cavalry could be doing more. Also, look at this. Hammerers and the Runesmith come in to try and flank these guys. The cannon crew actually abandon the cannon, hid in the woods, and then I believe later he gets them to man them. Here comes the Chaos Knights. They're a big part here. Now they've kind of got the lines established. These guys are going to get a good charge onto these Rangers. Ow. That was a hell of a hit. And they keep going, some of them. And now they're being flanked by the Forsaken as well. So that is a beautiful double charge PharoahOWar did there on the Gobbo King. And as you can see, the Gobbo King is desperately trying to win this battle. And it looks like it is going in his favour. The Warriors are being beaten, but the Everwatcher's there. But he's below half health at this point. So not looking great there. The Miners there have been chased off. So now we've got a whole new fresh unit of Chaos Marauders coming into the fight to join against these Miners and the Forsaken here. As you see, there are Dwarfs now. The Rangers are all kind of wavering because they're not really designed for this sort of thing. Chaos Wars here are wavering against those Miners. And we've got the Fane and White Dwarf trying to hold off against all these Chaos Knights. The Forsaken are pulling back a little bit. As you see, they're coming back on to man the cannon now. The Runesmith is taking on all these guys with the great weapons, but he should be alright. He's got all these buffs. He can do the runes. These cavalry are still just hitting that one target. I feel like they could be doing more here, but what do I know? No, seriously, compared to these players, he's probably got a good reason for that. There goes another Hail Cannon shot straight into the back of these Hammerers, which are causing a real problem. They are just smashing their way through all these Chaos Warriors and Forsaken. There you go, the Forsaken are now starting to waver. The Chaos Knights have got a bit stuck down, and these Forsaken aren't doing anything. They just stood there. It's like, help! Get in there! Attack these Miners! Do something! He probably thought they were in combat. They're now in combat now against the Miners, so thank you, Gobbo King, for getting them involved. You've got the Dragonback Slayers and the Hammerers taking out the Forsaken, but you do have the Knights there, but the Slayers will do really good against them. These Hammerers are holding the line against these Chaos Warriors and the Chaos Marauders. I don't know how many's left, 33, but they seem to be, I mean, look at the size of that hammer. The hammers are bigger than them. I think they can handle, oh, PharoahOWar is dropping down some spells there, but I don't think it did that much damage, unfortunately. Chaos Knights are now breaking off to get some cycle. Oh no, these are the horse guys from the woods over there. But surprisingly, the Runesmith actually won that combat on his own. He's now attacking those guys, and I think he's going to go after, yeah, he's going after the crew now to try and take this Hail Cannon out. So you've got some Dwarves rallying here, and we've got 2 minutes remaining, and it's looking slightly in the favour of the Dwarves. 171 Dwarves to 250 Chaos. But he does have cavalry, he does have the Everwatcher, so it is all to play for still. And remember, this game isn't just a group game, it isn't for points, this is to get into the final. So whoever wins this will be in the final, whoever loses will be moved down to the next bracket where they can battle for 3rd place. So the final games will still have 2 battles in, but the winner of that one would get 3rd place, and then you obviously have the final for 1st and 2nd place. But you see, the Chaos Knights have now broken, and the Dwarves hold the centre now, and they're now counter-attacking against the Everwatcher. Those Dragonback Slayers, the White Dwarf and all that are going to do some serious damage. The Hammers have finally broken, but that's because they got swarmed by all these Chaos. And the Miners are taking on cavalry there. You've got some Miners there that are coming back now. But you can see they're doing a lot of damage to the Everwatcher now. I mean, White Dwarf's only got not even half health missing, and the Fane's pretty much a full health as well. He does a cycle charge as well to try and cause more problems. Everything's now charging into this moss pit in the middle. You've got some Knights here that are probably going to come in, cycle in, and charge. Got the Runesmith. We could really do with him over here, Gobbo King. We really could. His buff would be amazing. Actually, the Knights have actually broken those guys, so they should be able to come round. But these are now wavering against the Lord, the White Dwarf, and the Slayers. These guys have become, I mean, they have a flash bomb as well, been dropped on them, a flash bomb, sorry. So that's messed up their leadership and their melee defense. Pretty much they're covered in smoke and they can't see what they're doing and getting hacked down for it. The Dwarfs, though, prepared for such a thing, are cutting down all the survivors. The Forsaken are trying to hold, but the rest are shattered now. And the Everwatcher is not looking good right now. The balance power is quickly swinging into the Dwarfs' favour. This solid centre here is going to be nearly impossible to break at this point for PharoahOWar. And it looks like the Gobbo King with his Dwarfs will be making it into the final round. Is it done? There we go. So, between PharoahOWar with his Chaos and the Gobbo King with his Dwarfs, Gobbo King is victorious and will go to the final. PharoahOWar will go into the battle for 3rd place with whoever wins or loses the next battle. So let's go over the score. So the White Dwarf got 40 kills. The Runesmith got a very respectable 19. The Thane got 26. The Miners 25. The Miners Blasting Chargers hit a miss. 9 kills there but 31 there. The Longbeards are great weapons, 25, 31, and the Grumbling Guard only got 1, but that's because they got shot out by the Hell Cannon and pretty much destroyed instantly. Here's the MVP, though, of the Dwarves, the Hammers, of 114 and 133 kills. That is a hell of a lot of kills there. The Dragonback Slayers got 55, the Rangers got shut down quite quickly, both of them getting 15 kills each. You then have the Everwatcher, the 40, the Forsaken, the 42 and 57. We also have Chaos Marauders, great weapons, 46 and 104. Don't forget, these are Dwarfs we're fighting, heavily armoured, and he got 104 kills. That's impressive. Chaos Warriors, 13, not great, but then 97, 31, 68. Then you got the Chaos Knights, who did really good with 101 kills. The Hell Cannon got 38. Marauders got 15, and the Horsemasters got 43 kills. So, now we've got to do the next semi-final, which is myself, Shadow Online Gaming, versus JonTaun from Total Brohammer, which is going to be Dark Elves and Empire. I'm terrified of this game, but we will go to the replay right now and see who will make it to the final. So here we are, this last semi-final for this tournament. JonTaun with his Empire versus my Dark Elves, and yeah, me and my Dark Elves. There we go. Don't know where I was going to lead there. So, this game terrified me. Let's just look at the numbers. 916 to 1,309 Empire. This game is so fast, we will have to spend some of it in slow motion because we scattered to different parts of the battlefield and all of it is really important. So, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 units of swordsmen, 1 unit of Sigmar's Sons. We got 1, 2, 3 units of Great Swords, 1, 2, 3 units of crossbowmen. I believe it's 3 units of Spearmen, 1, 2, and 1 at the back. We also have 2 Empire Knights, 1 unit of Demigryph Knights of Hellbirds. We obviously got Balthasar Gelt, and I think that's everything. Is that everything? I'm going to say yes, that's everything. Yeah, that looks everything. What have I got? Well, first of all, look at this deployment. What makes you think I've been learning off Gobbo King? Everything's scattered. There's no solid line. It's all kind of checkerboard deployment. I was quite chuffed how this goes, you know, in this deployment. So you got 3 units of Black Ark Crusaders with handbows. You got 3 units of Black Ark Crusaders, 2 units of Witch Elves on each flank, Malekith on foot, 1 unit of Executioners, and on the far flanks you got the Black Guard of Nagaron. And also on each corner you got 1 unit of Dark Riders of Lair, and 1 unit of Dark Riders over here somewhere. They're in the woods somewhere. Yeah, they're already on the move. So as I said, this game is stupidly fast paced, and to try and keep up with it, we will be pausing it from time to time. We'll be going into slow motion, because there's just units everywhere doing fancy abilities, and as I said, it breaks into 3 or 4 different skirmishes as the battle goes on. So, how we're doing here, that ability there is him doing the one where he damages himself, but the Winds of Magic then go up. So, there we go, the Power of Darkness, so I can really get my magic up. He's got the Word of Pain and Chill Wind is what I've gone for. So, if we go play, what you're going to have is these guys come forward and do a bit of skirmishing, the crossbowmen kind of shoot in, then the main lines hit. Yeah, so we'll just show you that, but it happens so fast, and it's a 7-minute game, but seriously, my hands are shaking throughout this game, and especially at the end, because of the amount of micro needed. Now look at the damage we're taking already from those crossbowmen. That's quite a lot. And the Knights are already moving forward a bit. As you can see, these guys are moving back because of Balthasar. The Empire Knights are moving forward, but we're going to get a few shots on the swordsmen to try and get some damage done. But I doubt it's going to be much. There you go, they're focusing on Balthasar. Look at the damage they've just taken there. He's shooting at the Empire, and now the front line. That was the skirmish bit done. It's like, right, move everything forward. Everything's now moving forward. There we go. As you can see, all my stuff is now picked up the pace a bit. We're going to slow down a bit because, as you can see, we've got some Black Old Crusaders there. These guys are coming in ready to counter any cavalry that come through. The Witch Elves are coming in to join the front line. These guys are going to be a strong centre and smash through the Sigma Suns. These guys are going to hit there, and these guys are going to go on the flank. And you may notice the Dark Riders actually stay in the woods for quite some time because he didn't know I had them. He might have known about that one because they were right in the open there, but the other one were hidden the whole time. So he probably don't even know they're there. As you can see, the cavalry are coming in and getting that charge off against them. There is the glare ability on the Sons of Sigma, knocking a load of them down before the charge is gone. And you can see it did a little bit of damage there. As you see, these knights are coming in as well, which are fun because these Blackguard, this is what they're here for, to take out the big stuff. Because I knew JonTaun loves mass infantry and cavalry. So we've got play, and you can see the charge has gone in here. The shots are going across all over the place. There you go. They're getting the charge in there. And if the Witch Elves can get in there as well. But I believe they're just about to have a debuff put on all of them, thanks to Balthasar. There we go. Final transformation going down. We've got the Executioner coming in. The Demigifts have just charged in. We've just done Shield Wind on that group. And now these guys are enraged thanks to the Witch Elves, which is going to cause some problems. These guys are giving moral support and shooting in. These guys are going to cut those swordsmen down to bits. Okay, so we've got all that happening. The crossbowmen are firing. He's kept his spearmen as reserve, which is great. His knights going back and forth, trying to get some good flank charges. In fact, these guys are going for the Corsairs. You get to see something entertaining with that there. The knights have then charged into this group and is actually causing these Black Ark Crusaders to start rallying. Wavering. These guys are shooting them in the flank here. As you can see, these Black Ark Crusaders are going to there as well. But the Witch Elves has actually got these knights enraged, out of control, so they're going to kind of just do their own thing. You do have great swords in here though, which are the problem against Blackguard, and especially when they've got the Plague of Rust on them as well. These guys are actually taking quite a bit of damage thanks to the fact that these guys can fire while they're moving, so they'll turn around and take a pot shot as they run along, doing a nice bit of damage. As you see, Murderous Prowess is growing quite rapidly when you think I've got this slowed down. And you see these guys, they're wavering. They've got Word of Pain on the Great Swords as well. So their melee attack is gone down by 44. Their accuracy has gone down by 60. That's a lot. You see the Dark Riders are now coming out of the woods. He has got a spearman position to guard them though, so that's important to remember. Let's go with that. So these guys actually start catching up with them. As you see that I move these guys, so his spearmen move to counter. These guys are moving in. Those swordsmen. There's another chill wind going down and a nice bit of damage here. These guys are coming in for the crossbowmen. Get that nice hit. Well, the spearmen were a bit too slow to react. These guys are pocket shots at them where they get taken out by the Blackguard and the Witch Elves there. As you see, the Empire Knights and Demigifts are trying to pull back here. Not sure where he's going. But if you look, Murderous Prowess has now activated, and you watch these guys actually start being Empire Knights in close combat. It's insane. This flank has pretty much been won by the Dark Elves. The Dark Raiders kind of just stood there. I need to micro them a lot better. I understand that now, unfortunately. They did get forgotten. But there you go, there's the moving now. The Blackguard's going in. The Black Ark Crusades are starting to waver, so are these. But that's fine, because all they've got here is some great swords, and we're shooting at them. What else have we got going down here? He's got Transformation of Lead on Malekith himself. He's desperate to win this combat. It's very important that he does. These guys are winning this flank now. We're smashing through to the next line where you've got Demigifts and Spearmen. And you see these Dark Riders are just causing problems. And we've done a glare on these, and you can see that's got them wavering already. That's caused a lot of problems already. These guys, the Dark Riders over there, I'm going to just slow it down again for you. The Dark Riders here got them chasing down the people that I didn't want coming back. These Blackguard kind of got charged in against Spearmen and Great Swords, but they are being supported by these Corsairs, so that should help taking the Great Swords out, and then these guys should be able to pop those off. Got more spells going down on Paul Malekith here, where he's doing all his magic on them. But also we do have the Word of Pain on his Sons of Sigma, or is it the... It is the Grey Swords, which are probably the better bet to get rid of. Obviously the Executioners are cutting through there. These guys are broken, and these guys are slowly winning this flank. They will get through eventually. So let's go back. See what I mean by this? And I mean, you've got this little skirmish here, but look at the Knights. These guys, because of Murderous Prowess, are actually cutting these Knights to bits and are winning quite decisively. Now the cavalry's coming in to get a good rear charge on these spearmen to help the Blackguard to try and break their leadership. They've broken now. We've broken the great swords. The Sons of Sigma are coming. They're trying to help, so I got some ice to go straight through the middle of them. And these knight guys have actually charged into the crossbowmen and started getting them to break, because these Empire Knights are not getting involved. Oh no, they've caught some of them, and that's why they're not going to help the main engagement. Here you've got some spearmen I've got caught in the combat, and I've actually sent these Blackguard Crusaders with the handbows into combat just to try and, I want to win this combat quickly so I can move in and get the finish. There you go, these guys have actually finished them off now, and we'll move up. These guys are defeating them. The cavalry are running off. The Blackguard are getting into position. These guys run straight into that. Oh, that was painful to watch. And then the great swords are coming in after them. But of course, he didn't realise they could fire and move. He didn't realise that was a thing. So now these great swords are just being shot as they're chasing after a target they would never be able to catch. As you see now, the spearmen have started running after them as well, and these guys are finishing them off very nicely. How are we doing in the centre? Well, we are dealing with the Sons of Sigma. There's only 4 of them left, so the executioners, I do move up shortly to start dealing with that. These guys, as you can see, are winning this flank. We're getting rid of the demi-gifts. The Blackguard Crusaders are all doing well there. Here, we're winning on this flank, and we're now pushing everything up onto that side to try and finish that off. As you can see, all this is now clear, so we can now start pushing it into his backlines. There you go. Malekith has finished off them and is moving in. These guys have started breaking, so the Corsairs are giving chase. These guys need to be moved up, though, and I believe they are shortly. There you go. We had a unit of spearmen, but I think I did that a little bit too early, but it doesn't matter. I still probably did some nice bit of damage. As you see, these guys, the Blackguard, have charged into the crossbowmen. The cavalry charged into these crossbowmen, thus removing his back line completely. Balthasar's trying to get a grip on things. These guys are now rallying, but these Corsairs, I know there's only, how many's there? 34 and 51, but they should be able to deal with anything that's there. So I just let them get on with it. These guys are moving up. Malekith is moving up as well. As you can see, we're just dealing with what's left of the spearmen. I did do some friendly fire there, but I think at this point it didn't really matter. I needed these guys to break. There you go, they're shooting in as well now. And suddenly, I mean, you've got some spearmen there, but they're wavering the moment they come out of the woods. It's not looking good. So suddenly, there's no Empire. These guys are charging into the spearmen, and they'll probably break quite quickly. They're now moving into the centre. These guys are just going to deal with them. I'm not too worried. Who wins in that engagement? I am now trying to gather all my forces together. Everything needs to get together. You've got some swordsmen there chasing them. Again, that's fine. I believe I do get them to turn around and charge shortly. But suddenly, it's looking very bad for the Empire. 379 Dark Elves to 273, and I think most of that's running. Yeah, look, all of them broken. So now Balthasar is trying to get some good hits, using his Pegasus to get some hits on Malekith. His hope is if he can kill Malekith, the Dark Elves will just leave the battle. But to be honest, with the Blackguard and Executioners, I've seen Malekith fall and they've kept on fighting. So I think it was more out of pride to try and kill Malekith. But of course, I've now got all these Blackguard Crusaders of handbows shooting in. He's trying to get as much magic as he can. He's done the Plague of Rust on him, so he's got minus 60 arm. Fortunately, that was a miss. I try and get the Witch Elves to get one hit, because if they can get one hit on him, he'll become enraged, stuck on the ground, and then we can cut him up with the Blackguard. As you can see, all the Dark Elves, this is it. This is all that's left of the whole battlefield now. All here, all my Dark Elves against one model on a Pegasus. Dropping more abilities on him, he comes flaming down there and then flies off again. And he breaks. So there we go. Somehow I've got through to the finals with Gobbo King. JonTaun will be battling against PharoahOWar for 3rd place. And flipping at my jaw hurts talking all that much. So, let's go through what we've got. So Malekith got 82 kills. As you see, these guys, a solid front line. I mean, I'm used to having like 4 to 5 units to front line, but I've learned you only need 3 units and then have the lead guys behind. So 30, 22 and 34. The Witch Elves didn't do as well as I thought they would. They've 69 and 34. In practice games I had, they were getting about 100 kills a go, but unfortunately, obviously, weren't in the thick of the fire. But they did help. They did help, so that's good. The Executioners in the thick of the centre of the fight against the Sons of Sigma got 212 kills. And these guys, the Blackguard, 107, 151. And, oh, man of the match. Everyone said these did amazingly well with 38, 55 and 61. But it was the hit and run. It was drawing the cavalry away. It was getting the flank hit. It was messing up JonTaun's formation because he kept trying to get these guys. And they were doing so much damage. And the Dark Rider, as you can see, very good, 67, 39 kills. I did keep forgetting about using them, but if you watch the replay, even just them sitting in the back was enough for JonTaun to send men to deal with them, even if they weren't doing anything. So they did a job, even if it's just as a distraction, as a constant, I'm behind you, what you got to do about it. So really good job there. JonTaun, as you can see, massive army. He does love his mass infantry. They've lots of good cavalry. Unfortunately, the basic infantry just didn't have what they needed to get through all these elite infantry. So my few could beat his many. As you see, Balthasar go, got no kills, but he was doing all buffs like, you know, lowering the armour and all that Plague of Rust and all that stuff. So very good job there. The Spearmen, 22, 12 and 11 kills. The Swordsmen, 5, 17, 2 and 14. And the Sigmar Sons only got 17. But then again, they were against Malekith and Executioners. The Great Sword, 61, 29, 44. And the Crossbowmen, quite good skill on kills of 46, 34 and 48. And finally, the Empire Knights of 26, 36 and 42 for the Demi-Gift Knights of Hellbirds. So there we go. I mean, look, we lost half the men they did. And we've got more than that. It was just a very good battle for us. I was absolutely terrified. JonTaun, I was expecting to stomp all over me. But it just seemed that with all my anti-infantry, all my Corsairs and that, I knew he was going to bring mass infantry. So that's what I had to do, is bring stuff that could beat infantry down and win that frontline confrontation. As you saw, as soon as that broke, it was like a dam. And his army just broke and ran off the field. And my guys then stomped forward and killed the targets that needed to be taken out. So, just to sum it all up, Shadow Online Gaming and Gobbo King will be battling it out for the final Dark Elves against Dwarfs. It'll be a rematch, so it's going to be a grudge match. Every match of Dwarfs is a grudge match, but you get my point. And JonTaun and PharoahOWar will be battling it out for 3rd and 4th place in the tournament. So obviously, don't forget to check out their channels, because they'll have these videos on there as well. These replays, they'll be going over what they did, what they thought, how it went for them. And tomorrow, hopefully, or maybe the next day, it depends on scheduling, we'll have the final games played and up on the channel. Just trying to think if there's anything else I need to remember. Pretty much, thank you very much for the YouTubers for these battles and sending me the replays. And thank you for you guys for viewing. Subscribe if you haven't already, because if you don't want to miss the final. As soon as it comes out, it's going to be good. And yeah, it's all coming to an end now, and this tournament's been really good fun, and I'm really surprised how well I've done with these Dark Elves. So it's going to be interesting to see how I do in the final game. But we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope to see you next time for the final games. And yeah, till next time, take care.